Hey, good evening. Thank you for joining us on the Scabbard. It is time. Who's ready for some late night hockey, late night puck with Tommy Dangles, Tucky, Oopie, and the boys? I am. We are doing some hockey after dark with the Buffalo Sabres playing in Colorado tonight. Game is on TNT tonight. Um, I there is a little bit of hope. I think if you've been watching the team the last couple of games, um, I'm not even going to ignore the Montreal game. We got a point in that game. Probably should have gotten 2 points in that game. But really, the cause of the excitement right now is really just this weird trade that we made last week, where we traded a conditional seventh round pick to Columbus for a guy named Eric Robinson. So the legend of Eric Robinson has become a thing, really sparked a resurgence since coming here. He's kind of this working class hero kind of guy. Um, he's been playing a very and really has impacted his teammates Krebs and Okposo, but it's that direct style of play. He's always going to the net. He plays with speed, but I mean he is going to the dirty areas, and whether he's scoring goals or Okposo swoops in and grabs a rebound and pots it, it's really good to see. I mean, getting scoring out of your fourth line is always a good thing. Um, and I think it's rubbed off on the rest of the team. You're starting to see other players really get to the dirty areas. I mean, the goals that we scored against Arizona were all dirty area goals, and that that kind of golden parallelogram there in front of the net, kind of slot in, is where we were getting those goals on Monday night. So stat of the night, Eric Robinson had a goal and 2 assists in the 5-2 win over Arizona. And when you talk about the Arizona Coyotes game, I was worried about this game going in because, and apologies, I was sick on Monday. I couldn't really have the energy to get up there. I barely watched the game. Did make me feel better. I will tell you that right now, watching that game. But I was really worried going into that game because Arizona has been a pleasant surprise, and I said it in the last episode that I did, was that Arizona is what Buffalo was a couple seasons ago. And that was the wrong game. Never mind. But they played like they were, they played really well. Going into the game, they had like in a 5 game stretch, they played the last 5 Stanley Cup champions and beat them all. Like, phenomenal team. The Sabres got out early. They got a first period lead. It was hard to remember the last time they had a first period lead in that game. Drove the net, got lots of rebounds. Levi was good when he needed to be, particularly after that first goal, because the Sabres' problems the last few weeks have been they give up a goal and it's like 20 seconds, a minute later, another goal's in the back of the net. So he was good in that immediately following the first goal, keeping the Arizona Coyotes off the score sheet. And really, it was a great effort by the team getting the win against the Arizona Coyotes. Don't sleep on the Coyotes. We get them this Saturday. They're a good team. They're a good young team. Like I said, they are where we were last year. And will they challenge for a playoff spot? Maybe. I mean, the Western Conference. The Western Conference is really weird because you've got really, really good teams. You got your Colorados, you got your Vegas, and then you've got some really just awful teams: Anaheim, San Jose, Chicago, still awful. Even though they got generational talent in Connor Bedard, they're still an awful team. So, whereas the Eastern Conference is a little bit more balanced, there's only one team that you're like, they shouldn't be here. Even Montreal is overperforming. So there's much more balance in the Eastern Conference. But, Arizona hangs around this situation. They could make a few moves at the trade deadline. They've got tons of cap space. And they've proven that they're willing to weaponize their cap space. So, I'm bullish on Arizona's future, and I think as we go on and the Sabres open their playoff window and their competitive window, I think the Arizona Coyotes are going to be just behind them, and this is a team that we're going to have to look at in the Western Conference of if we're planning on moving further in the playoffs and getting to a Stanley Cup final, this is a team that we might face in 3 to 5 years. So, all right, let's talk about the Avs because that's tonight's game. Avs game preview. There are 17-9-2 on first in the Central Division of the Western Conference. They beat the Flames 6-5. It wasn't last night. It was I did a lot of these notes yesterday. It was on Monday night. 6-5. They're led by Rantanen in goals, 13. Makar in assists with 28, and McKinnon in points with 39. Prosvetov leads in goals against average and save percentage, and Georgiev leads in wins. Although Georgiev got pulled in that Flames game, he gave 5 goals, and they pulled him in that game, and Prosvetov prevailed in that game. Let's talk about the Avs' projected forward lines from Daily Faceoff. Nichushkin, McKinnon, Rantanen on that first line, deadly first line. Drouin, Johansson, and Tatar on the second line. Tatar's always given the Sabres problems. Johansson's given the Sabres problems, so this is a very potent second line that they need to look out for. Third line of Miles Wood, Ross Colton, and Drew O'Connor. Or not Drew O'Connor. I forget which O'Connor it is. There's a lot of O'Connors in the league. But Miles Wood is a guy that when he became a free agent last year, I really wanted Buffalo to get. I think Miles Wood is kind of that guy that you need on your roster if you're going to make deep runs. Ideally suited for that third, fourth line role. If you've got a talented enough team to put him on the fourth line, that means you really got something going. But he's playing on the third line for the Avs. Avs defensive. Let me talk about the fourth line. Andrew Cogliano, Frederick Olofsson, and Myers. I'm not sure if Freddie is related to Victor Olofsson. Olofsson is a very common name in Sweden, so probably not. Avs projected defensive pairings. Jonathan Taves. Oh, I got a comment. Hold on a second. Thank you, Louie. Living with Louie Dog is the only way to stay sane. Eric Robinson is awesome. Back to my notes here. Defense pairings. We got Devin Taves with Cale Makar. Makar, one of those unicorns leading the team in assists with 28. That's scary. I don't know that any of the Sabres actually have 28 points yet. So got to watch out for Cale Makar, one of the premier defensemen in the league. I know Rasmus Dahlin will probably amp up his game tonight just because he's playing against one of the Norris Trophy finalist kind of guys. Bowen Byram, first round pick from a few seasons back, has rounded out into a pretty decent second pairing defenseman with Josh Manson, Johnson, and McKinsky on the third pairing. And the Avs goalies, Prosvetov and Georgiev. I'm thinking Prosvetov gets the start tonight as Georgiev did not look really good in his last outing. So plus Prosvetov has some of the better numbers, not win-wise, but goals against and save percentage. So scratches for the Avs. Gabriel Landeskog remains on IR, and I don't know that he'll ever play another game for the Colorado Avalanche or in the NHL again. Pavel Francouz has been out all season, injured late last season, just has not been able to get back. Arturi Lekkonen's on IR. Samuel Girard is on IR, and Yoel Kiviranta is day-to-day. Sabres have big changes on our lines because we get Alex Tuch back. Yay, Alex Tuch. Zach Benson is on the first line. And I can't say I'm mad about that. Zach Benson has played phenomenally this season and doesn't show too much of a sign of slowing down. And and many nights is kind of the guy that provides all the energy. But yeah, so Benson is on with Thompson and Tuck. Then we have Skinner skating with Middlestat and Paterka, Jost, Cousins, and Olesen, Robinson, Krebs, and Okposo. Our defense pairing is a little bit of change as Samuelson draws back in after being dinged up the previous night. And drawing out will be Ryan Johnson. So we got Darlene Samuelson, Power Yokiharu, and Eric Johnson, with Connor Clifton, Eric Johnson making his return to Colorado. I'm sure there'll be a nice moving tribute for all the years that he played for the Colorado Avalanche. Sabres goalies tonight, we get UPL back. Luukkonen takes the net. Levi is the backup. Levi's play in the last 3 games has been phenomenal. I have been an advocate of sending him back to Rochester so he can get number 1 minutes. I'm not a fan of splitting time, but I don't think there's much confidence in Eric Comrie right now, and that's probably why he's not backing up tonight. And Levi is still with the team on the Western trip. Sabre scratches, no longer Samuelson. He is now playing. Greenway, Bryson, Gergensen, Quinn, to the normal crew. Tonight's odds per DraftKings, play responsibly. Buffalo is getting a goal and a half as a road dog. Over under is 6.5. 3 keys to the game tonight. Keep playing the direct style. That is what has led to a bit of a resurgence. Let's not say that 3 games is going to make the season. We need to be like DJ Khaled and say another one, win another one, another one, because we can't just have 3 games and then go on a small losing streak. At this point, the winning streaks need to vastly outnumber the losing streaks or the losing games. So you need to stack forwards. And this is a difficult time because, yeah, you're on the West Coast. You're playing 2 of the best teams in the Western Conference. But last year, you did the same trip, and you came away with points against all 3 teams. So let's see if we can do that again. And you've already beaten Colorado 4-0 earlier this season, so let's see if we can replicate that. Let's get the power play going. As good as yesterday or Monday's game was, still not firing on all cylinders when it comes to the power play. There's just too much. I don't know what it is. It is too much passing. It's like they're direct on everything except for the power play. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, if I'm Matt Ellis, I'm looking for answers. I mean, he coached them to top 5 in the power play last season, but now this team just can't get out of its way. I was going to do a player profile of Brett Murray, but Mr. Murray has been sent back to the Rochester Americans, and we'll get a read on the Americans' score here in a minute. Let me bring up the AHL site. Last I saw was 3-2. There has been an update. We'll get that to you in a moment. Rochester is playing the Springfield Thunderbirds. But Brett Murray's been sent back to Rochester, so we won't do a player profile tonight. But on this date, in December 13th, 2003, Miroslav Shatan scores with 14 seconds remaining. Marty Biron stops 26 to 27 shots, and the Sabres tied the Blackhawks 1-1. It was an interesting game. I think Alexei Zhamnov scored the first goal like less than 4 minutes into the game, and then nothing. And then 14 seconds remaining, Shatan pots the game-tying goal to give the Sabres a point in that game, 1-1. So that is on this date. Let's go to our report on the Rochester Americans. They are 11-7-2, third in the AHL North. So there was no update for the last game, but for tonight, the Rochester Americans are tied 3-3 with about 9 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the third. Let me, I'll just refresh and make sure I got the right time. Yeah, 9 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the third. Goal scorers tonight, If I can find that. Goal for Damien Giroux, his 4th of the year from Nikita Novikov, and Michael Mersch was the first goal of the game for the Americans. Goal by William Bitton of the that was the last goal. That was a game tying goal. So first goal of the game was from Jeremy Davies, his 4th of the year from Joseph Ciccone, and that was Damien Giroux got his 3rd goal of the season as the 2nd goal. They took a 2-0 lead early in the game. 47 seconds in for the first goal, 2 minutes and 37 seconds in for that 2nd goal. It's 2-0 Rochester. The Thunderbirds, Adam Gaudette gets a goal back at 1946 of the first period from Matthew Pekka. I can't remember who it's Winnipeg's farm club. Let's see. Dylan Coughlin got the 2nd goal to tie it up from Adam Gaudette and Matthew Pekka. So Pekka has a couple points on the night. So does Adam Gaudette. The Will Bitton got his 2nd goal of the, or I'm sorry, got the game-leading goal at the time towards the end of the 2nd period. His 5th of the season from Coughlin and Abramoff to make it 3-2 Springfield. And then Damien Giroux got a 2nd goal of the game from Novikov and Mersch to give them the lead. So good on those dudes. They're playing former Sabre and Rochester American Malcolm Subban in net. So, yeah, Malcolm Subban's gone pretty much the whole way for those guys. All right, so that's it's 8:26 left in the 3rd, and it's still 3-3. On this, let's do the Jacksonville Icemen. Icemen are 11-8-2 and 3rd in the ECHL Eastern Conference South Division. Lost to Norfolk in that return match on Saturday, 4-1, and play a match. They play against the Savannah Ghost Pirates, the Vegas Golden Knights team in the ECHL on Thursday. So no update tonight. Schedule ahead for these Sabres. Tonight's game in Colorado. Then they on Friday they play Vegas, and Saturday in Arizona. So back-to-back on the road, coming against the Coyotes before coming home to play the Columbus Blue Jackets on the 19th. Can you believe that Christmas is almost here? It's hard to believe. Our next episode, as I mentioned, Vegas is Friday night. So Friday night at 9 p.m. Versus the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's it for the show tonight. I really appreciate you hopping on. Thank you, Louis, for making a comment. I really appreciate it. If you want to make comments, please feel free, and I'll post them or try and get the chat thing to pop up. I was busy up until the last minute tonight trying to get this thing, get my office set back up for a broadcast. So I appreciate everybody watching, and we will talk to everybody in 2 days. Have a good one.